never thought I would be interviewing Steve Vai about King Crimson music in the first place.
Right?
I have a bunch of these quickie questions. I see these questions all over the internet. So I thought we could just do some rapid fire sort of answers. Are you playing in Robert Fripp's fifth-based new standard tuning?
No.
Will you be sitting or standing?
I will be standing, but there's a couple of chords that I might have to hike my guitar up to get because it's.
Will you be adopting Robert's picking technique in any way?
I'm starting to work in a hybrid type of a picking for myself of his style and my style, because my original style was not very far off in the early days, and then my picking style went through a vast change in right when I joined Alcatraz. I used to pick sort of almost over the neck like this for all that Zappa stuff and everything, but the tone isn't great, you know. And when I really wanted to put the screws to the tone, I changed my picking style to more like I kind of went from I had this weird style like this, right? And I pick all sorts of crazy stuff, but the tone is terrible up here, you know. So I changed my picking style to be more like this, and then I developed a wrist condition. It's called de Corvain, and it really limited my strumming and picking as part of the shoulder surgery. So I've actually had to start developing a different picking style. And then with Robert's stuff, you know, I do sort of a hybrid of what he does, you know. His style is so specific and refined. You know, it's not something I could just jump into. I mean, it's a study, and he's just brilliantly navigated these beautiful parts with it. But I guess this isn't so rapid fire. But so I'm doing more of like a hybrid kind of a thing where it's sort of like his style, and I still have you know, some months that I'm working on the stuff. So that particular aspect of his style that enables certain things should come along. It's coming along.
Excellent.
And Robert's been incredibly helpful. I've been in contact with him quite a bit. Father Robert.
Which songs are the most intimidating when you hear them?
Well, there's songs that the particular picking technique make it a little challenging. You know, like frame by frame. It's not necessarily. I mean, back before the shoulder surgery and everything, that would have been no problem at all. You know, it's the endurance. It's the absolute relentlessness of what he does that makes it so difficult, you know, because it's constant and it's intense and it's fantastic, you know. So I'm feeling good about all of it, really. A couple of things I'm changing, not necessarily because well, one thing is a little difficult. There's a couple of things that are a little difficult, like oddly enough, elephant talk. You know, it's just a peculiar kind of thing, and so I might, you know, change that up. Plus, this isn't really a cover band, you know. We're kind of reinterpreting some things, and I think you know, my style and my sound, it will flow into it just because it's coming out of me, and I'm doing my absolute best to respect every note, you know, that Robert wrote. It's just that the way I perform it might be a little different. Like something like Larks, you know, the live version, which is Adrian had sent me Absent Lovers. Well, he told me to check out, and I had heard it, I had known it, and that might pretty much be the arrangements for the live uh, performances that we do. And there's things I'm happy about that, and there's things that for instance, frame by frame is shorter, you know, which is helpful, but I developed a way of playing it that um, I'm happy to do the long version, you know, and also something like one of my favorites is erotica, you know. I mean, yeah, and the live version has that beautiful, verse where Robert plays the 13 and then the 12, and all this. It's so beautiful, I love it so much, especially that part that goes. Uh, I've got it all under my fingers. I don't have it nailed yet, but it's like I just love that, and good. That whole sequence in there, it's just really beautiful. All that's that's all fine.
When we were on the phone maybe a few months ago, you said Thela Hun Ginjeet sounded like such a blast.
Oh, so fun.
Yeah, I want to hear about that.
Well, okay, so I listened to it and I figured out the picking thing, and I do want to add a little bit of Vi into it, and Robert is suggesting that. There's a couple of things I asked him uh, about synthesizer sounds for solos and stuff, and he's like, forget about that. Just be Steve Vai. If I was sitting in the audience and you were playing that, I'd want to see Steve Vai go crazy, So I'm like, phew.
Yeah.
But Thela Hun Ginjeet, I'm doing it more like a rhythm thing. I haven't really put the screws to it, but I actually prefer it, but it's more like. So I got to still work on it, but I'm getting all the notes, but I'm just doing it more rhythmically, and I'm leaving out one note. I could get it in there, but it makes things awkward. It's but I'm going. And it'll get tighter. That's just a proximity, but I like it because it's more rhythmic. It's more me. So things, little things like that.
What gear are you going to bring?
I'm having 3 guitars built for this tour, and it's interesting because as we're discussing this, I'm going back and forth with Adrian on how the technology, how we're going to approach the technology for all the synth stuff, because all the original gear they used is completely obsolete. It's 40 years old, and that's where they got a lot of those sounds. So there's been various iterations of Roland guitar synthesizers through the years, and I just don't want to go back to the antiquated stuff because it's obtuse. It requires way too much stuff. So I'm having these guitars built, and they're going to be Pias, and they're going to have the 800, the GR 800 put into them. And I have Roland right now working on. I sent them all the tracks, and I pinpointed to them the exact locations in the tracks where I'd like them to at least start out with a facsimile of that sound that Robert used, and then I would tweak it from there, because I don't want to just use everything the way he did it. I wanted to do that and try to with the new technology see if there's different ways of creating sounds that like I say, respect the original parts, but maybe are more easily worked on a contemporary guitar, because the GR 800, it's not as invasive, and you don't need all these things. So the guitars are going to be equipped with the 800, but I'm still in discussions with Adrian about how those patches are going to be migrated from the earlier gear. But I'm very optimistic. I've fooled around with synth guitars. I've done some stuff. I have various iterations from the beginning. I mean, I have 300. I've got them all. But I just want simplicity and quality. So I'm looking for the 800 to be that, and I can't wait to start building these patches. But I won't be able to do that till I get back home. So right now, while I'm out on tour with Satch, I'm going through the music. This book. You can see it's got coffee stains and grease stains. It's getting a workout. It's extraordinarily helpful. So thank you. Thank you and all the guys that so lovingly put your attention and your passion into this book. It really helps guys like me right now.